Cabut. Mati. Fix mati. Gila. Halo semuanya, kembali lagi bersama gue Ridita. Selamat datang di channel gue. Di video kali ini seperti biasa gue akan bermain game horor yang berjudul The Call of Cthulhu. Berarti ini video yang keempat. Dan di sini kita sudah tahu si Francis, apa tadi namanya? Francis lah ternyata kasusnya Sarah Hawkins ini berhubungan dengan rumah sakit. Jadi ada, gua nggak tahu ya, kayaknya itu rumah sakit mental apa bagaimana. Jadi korban pasien-pasien di sana itu sering berhalusinasi kalau dia bertemu dengan sosok makhluk lah. Makhluk gak tau lah, makhluk Cthulhu apa gimana, gua nggak tahu. Jadi dan di sini kita dikasih tahu ternyata si brengsek Charles Hawkins dia masih hidup dan dia jadi monster. Gua nggak tahu monsternya dia tiba-tiba punya apa sih yang gurita gitu, mukanya kayak gurita begitu, kayak monster lah pokoknya, monster laut. Nah di sini ternyata si Sarah Hawkins itu dia nggak tahu, ada yang bilang dia visitor pengunjung, terus ada yang bilang lukisannya Sarah Hawkins ini itu banyak dicari karena disebut sebagai obat dari pasien yang ada di rumah sakit tersebut. Nah, bagaimana lanjut ceritanya? Langsung kita mulai perbaikannya. Oke. Nah, nih dia sudah meninggoy. Siapa tadi namanya ya? Escape Asylum. Something dulu lah. Something. Minyak. Oke, bentar. Dan nah udah jadi
This is insane. What killed him?
kayaknya nggak jelas lah. Di video sebelumnya kan tadi si Francis itu terbang dia, kayak dilempar sama siapa gua kurang tahu. Cepet. Ini gimana? Sini ya? Kok anjir? Nah. Cek.
Damn! The gas! Oh, my head.
Later. We need to move on.
Gimana sih ceritanya? Nah, gue masih bingung sama polisinya nih. Polisinya itu sekutu apa musuh? Soalnya pas video sebelumnya kita bangun, si polisinya itu gandengan sama si Fuller, Dr. Fuller. Ih, apa itu anjing? Apa itu, boy?
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Iya, alkohol. Butuh alkohol. Oh, siapa ya? Oh, tapi ini siang nih.
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
Okay.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
Terus? Alkohol dulu lah. Apa itu? Alkohol, mabok yang tamat tuh. Kerja nomor 2. Oke. Taruh gue nyari ini dulu lah. Tentara. Gak ada ya? Anjir lah emang. Gue udah mau mati. Ya, ini apa nih?
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us, what happened?
Apa ya? Gitu deh. Yes.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
It seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
You two know each other pretty
Salah ya gue
well.
ya?
It's a tiny island. Everyone knows everyone. Especially since I'm a police officer and Marie's a doctor.
The chemistry is obvious.
I do seem a little bit stupid, don't I? Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
Oke.
I found a Darkwater PD badge. Lost a colleague recently?
What the?
Bradley.
Ethan?
I'm all right. I just had a... It's gone.
You're sure?
If it's important, it'll come back. But I can't explain why Dr. Fuller would have that badge.
The man's a danger, believe me.
Iya.
What can we do, Pierce?
Aduh, salah gue belum ini lagi.
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct.
He
was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Iyalah.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
Oke.
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins,
Hmm.
subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Perasaan dia ada deh, masa nggak tahu sih anjir? Aduh.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
Call hit Sambler.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector.
Hmm.
I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased.
Hmm.
We don't know the bottom of it.
Iyalah
He's
harus
right.
tahu lah.
We can't ignore the truth.
But it could drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance. Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Iyalah anjir, oh, suaminya mati masa nggak dikasih tahu. Kemana nih? Nah, Thunder Residence. Anjir, 2 keluarga kaya. Enak ya jadi orang kaya gitu ya. Duit, beli pulau. Tapi yang gue aneh kenapa orang-orang kaya itu pasti kalau di film-film, di game-game tuh pasti ini ya berhubungan sama hal mistis-mistis gitu ya. Gak pengen apa gitu, jadi santai hidupnya, nikmatin duit.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins.
Terus deh.
Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well,
Si Cat.
look who's here.
Terus ini kenapa udah di sini? Ntar.
You know each other.
We met briefly, but he made a strong impression on me. The main thing is that we understood one another.
Boko-boko
The
lagi.
brave detective
Hah?
has a talent for sticking his nose into my
Tingkah
business.
anjir.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
Ya. Gila.
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone.
Hmm?
The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Iya anjir,
Of
jangan
course.
kasih tahu matinya gimana.
Thank you for your kind words.
Iya dong.
Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Udah. I share your grief, but I had nothing to do with. Iya benar.
Mrs. Sanders, I understand your grief and I extend my deepest condolences to you. But I had nothing to do with the death of your husband. I've just arrived on dock.
Salah apa ya?
I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
Sorry.
The death of the Hawkins family? You mean it was not an accident?
Nope.
This accursed island knows only tragedy after tragedy. You too would be advised to flee it like the plague. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Okay.
How did you come to meet Sarah Hawkins?
We were the wealthiest and most influential families on Darkwater.
Okay.
Of course we would know each other. And when Charles returned from Europe with his sweet little artist, she and her sinister paintings were destined to catch my husband's eye.
Okay.
He bought many of her works over the last 5 years. They adorn his macabre gallery.
Okay.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about.
Oh.
It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it,
Yep.
I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Okay. Oh.
Did she
Sampai.
really care for him after all?
Oh, tapi tahu. Masih kepo dan terusnya. Aduh, nggak bisa ya. Tapi kita suruh explore orang tanpa izin. Santai gitu ada orangnya di situ. Mana lukisannya? Ini.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Oke. Serem gitu boy lukisannya tuh. Mana lukisannya? Assembler. Cing ada cat lagi ah.
I could use one of those. A strange Amerindian pendant.
Oke.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
If our friendship has any meaning for you, please spare me the wake of wit. Oke.
An old diary.
lukisannya. Boleh. Salah gue emang. Nggak bisa ditambah lagi ya?
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
What have you come looking for in this gallery?
Another painting by Sarah Hawkins. One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
And what are you doing here?
And you, what brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Dah. Bye. Wah, gila boy. Dah. Ngapain? Wah, anjir.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Masa gitu doang?
The man
Gila.
transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Nah, sip. Enak ya jadi orang kaya ya. Anjir. Tapi ini gila segede gini ruangannya, Cok. 5 kali lipatnya kos gua mungkin. Tau lah, ini kayaknya. Iya. Tuh bener kan? Jadi si Francis ini dia tuh penggemar beratnya lukisan Sarah Hawkins. Apalagi nih? Apalagi nih? Masa orang masuk lukisan? Gak mungkin dong. Gelo, udah. Gak jelas, gak jelas. Cabut anjir, cabut sumpah jadi gue. Dia nggak punya mata. Anjing lah, seru banget sih di game. Oke.
What the hell was that?
Dikejar anjing. Mati bangsat. Anjing. Fuck banget anjing lah. Oke. Tai bener emang. Jadi gue harus gimana? Harus cabut. Udah. tahu gue ini. Harus santai.
What the hell was that?
Oke. Aduh, hati guys. Bentar ya. Saat cabut 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 ah jangan mancing web. Salah. Ini gua kemana keluarnya? Anjing lah. Wah.
I can't even touch it.
Cabut. Mati. Fix mati. Mati. Udah gimana anjing semuanya?
What the hell was that? That thing came out of this painting. There has to be a link. Maybe if I destroy it. Damn. This might be the curse on the painting.
Push, bitch. Anjir gak dikasih clue cok, sumpah. Lah?
What's the matter with you? Don't tell me that you're going crazy too.
Enggak anjing, lu gak tahu aja.
You didn't say
Tahu
anything.
juga jerit
I
lu.
saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Sanders was right. This painting is cursed.
Iya.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
Between what Irene told me and what I read in Sanders' library, I preferred to be cautious.
Oh,
You seem pretty keen to go it alone. At worst, you would have confirmed my fears. At best,
okay.
you would have cleared the way to my merchandise. Thank you, Detective. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you
Okay.
all about it. From what
Yep.
I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
The creature, this dagger, was the only weapon capable of pushing it back. If Hawkins was trying to get rid of this shambler, she might have made contact with Drake. This antique dealer has a good knowledge of the occult. I have nothing to lose by meeting him.
You've got your spunk back. Go where you want. I'm staying here to talk business with Irene.
Oke. Dah. Jadi kita ke ini ya, ke antik dealer si Drake. Mati anjing si Drake, jangan-jangan. Enggak dong. Iya. Dan akhirnya kita tahu lukisan Sarah
Where's the
Hawkins ini
bookseller?
sangat berpengaruh.
Freud's The Interpretation
Makanya
of
si
Dreams. It's the work that laid the
Sandreas ini,
foundations of psychoanalysis at
sangat
the beginning
tertarik
of this
sama
century.
lukisannya Sarah Hawkins. Itu yang gue tangkap. Yup.
An old diary.
Oke. Something.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
Dark Water History. Halo. Anjir, ada tengkorak begitu. Oh, bentar. Bentar. Berurutan ya, harus cari yang berurutan. Apa gimana? Apa nih? Undersea. Oke. Oke. Oh, gak ada lagi. Terus ini ngapain anjing? Oh, you read book? Oke.
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
Makhluk tadi, bukan? Oh. Oke.
What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work.
Ya iyalah anjir. Masa kemalingan sih? Nggak mungkin dong.
Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably.
Oke.
This burglar seems to be rather clumsy.
Oke.
What killed all these animals? What sort of thief leaves his tool? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What the? Charles Hawkins? Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. Where did I see it? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
Gila, Sarah Hawkins punya kekuatan anjir. Oke. Apa nih?
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
Oke.
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Somebody finds this married, there will be no great serious trouble. My last and only hope in my body and bones are still in the place. Can recover and burn. The throne was with my dear mother if she is still of this world. The falling Oke.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Iya ya. Insomni semua anjing sepulau.
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
Oke. This key that bears a sign 2053. Mana? Oh. Wah. 0 5. Salah. Gimana ya?
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Oke. Ini suruh kemana sih? Sini. Oke. Oh.
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Oke.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. I finally understood that
salah.
we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me.
Oke.
Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Volume 9. Oke. Yap. Oke boy, kita tahu sekarang. 5 3 9. Itulah dia, teka-teki mudah anjing. Oke. 2 menit lagi deh. Gila. Bisa gini ya. Apa sih? Reserve Institute. Oke. Aduh kayak.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Oke.
Did you inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty yet again.
Again? But there was enough for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Very well. I'll examine him. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin. Tender at the touch. Slightly sticky.
Oke.
Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
Oke.
30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion.
Oke.
I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier,
He seemed to feel better?
yes, like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
Oke.
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth.
Iya berarti ini.
I see signs
Salah
of
gua.
hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last
Salah
IV?
pencet, anjir.
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier,
He seemed to feel better?
yes, like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes, they can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations.
Oh,
And this
apa sih?
transformation is killing him. His
Kayak-
body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available
Ah,
care.
bacot botak
Your
fix
imagination is without limit.
Aduh.
It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
Iya anjing.
There.
Jangan semaunya sendiri.
What have you seen to put you in such a state?
I've seen suction cups on his fingers, his falling body temperature, his dehydration. Had I only read the report, you know what I would have concluded, Doctor.
Do I? Tell me anyway. I'm curious.
He's no longer human. These are the attributes of an animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own
Nggak.
patients and try not to
Botak
forget
jangan,
who you're
jangan
dealing
percaya sama
with.
botak.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
I disapprove of Fuller's methods, but his treatments have saved more lives than I can count.
And Mr. Blake? You said yourself he was dying.
I don't know what to think for now. What I'm sure of is that Fuller is hiding something from us, and I need to know what that is before I take a chance exposing him.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep Mom.
Yup, cukup sekian dari video kali ini. Anjing lah, berarti jadi ini apa namanya, kita ganti orang ke dokter siapa tadi, lupa gue namanya. Pokoknya dokter lah. Kita harus apa namanya, investigasi apa yang disembunyikan oleh Dr. Fuller, si botak bangsat. Dan ternyata si Drake ini gue nggak tahu udah mati apa belum. Cuma kita dapat buku yang dimana itu diincar sama Charles Hawkins. Gue nggak tahu itu apa kelemahannya atau bahan-bahan yang tercatat dalam pembuatan dagger yang kita buat ngerobek di rumahnya franchise tadi. Nah, sekarang kita ganti orang, dan bagaimana kelanjutnya kita lanjut besok. Jaga kesehatan kalian selalu. Gua Ari Duta, see you on the next video.